everyone. My name's Naman. I'm an immigrant. I always start with that now.
Yeah.
I am a therapeutic radiographer, so I do the radiotherapy side of things. So I work at the Marsden with my amazing colleague Sarah. I also work for Macmillan 2 days a week as a national clinical advisor. And I do a podcast called RadChat and an educational platform. And I'm a husband and I do exercise. And yes, I do sleep. Everyone always asks me this. But yeah, thanks for the privilege of being here.
And you are a new father as well.
Yep, everyone keeps telling me. Everyone keeps saying I don't look tired, but I feel very
you don't look tired at all. I mean, you are such a huge advocate for people of colour, particularly women of colour. And I think I'd just like to take this opportunity, because I know loads of people in this room know how much you advocate for us, to say thank you. You are incredible. And through your work, you just do so many things. I mean, how many awards have you won lately? No, you've...
won 7 awards this year.
7 awards. And they're so well deserved. You know, can you talk a bit about your work and what you do?
I suppose take it back. 2021, I was seeing a black woman, Jamaican lady who had head and neck cancer. I could see had a very severe skin reaction. She didn't look red. As everyone keeps saying, everyone looks red. You don't look red if you're people of colour. My 2 white nursing colleagues just said, no, it's nothing, sent the patient home. She came back in the next day, neck was all broken down, really bad wound, infected, did not trust us anymore, was an inpatient for 2-3 weeks. And that's when I said, well, why didn't you listen to me? They said, well, textbooks only show white skin, it's not a big problem. I was like, well, clearly it is. This person is now an inpatient for 2 weeks, doesn't want to have any healthcare through the NHS, can't afford private healthcare, didn't come to any follow-ups, eventually died because she didn't trust us.
Wow.
But that's just one person. That was 2021. And that's when I first raised it to my own profession, saying, actually, I've looked at the skincare guidance. The word brown and black's not even in there.
Yeah.
I hate the term, but even BAME wasn't in there. Nothing of that is there. Why not? And then you look at the tools and you say, everything says look for redness. I think, I don't get red. Yeah, fine, I grew up in India, but I know I need to wear sun cream. All these myths and all these problems, and then you start going deeper and deeper and deeper, and then eventually it got to the point of, obviously now I know with newborn screening, but lots of newborn screening also says look for redness. And I remember doing a podcast through RadChat with Joe, my colleague, and some Australian newborn specialists, midwives, reached out and said, we've been looking at Aboriginal babies for decades and we've never thought about this. Or then some of my colleagues saying, oh, I've been a nurse for 30 years, I've never thought about this. And now I think it's hard not to be angry. And I think every time I just think, shame on you, that you have all these people in front of you, some of the most diverse areas in the world, and you have not considered that your skin is not always going to be the norm for everyone. God. I think that's why, reflecting back, and obviously it's the end of year, it's been Diwali for my family and I, it's great, I won 7 awards, but there's still so many problems, and we talked about this week. My own profession, people trying to dismantle what I've done, discredit me, bring me down and say, oh, you've won too much.
Yeah.
Let someone else do it now. No one else is doing anything.
Yeah.
Who's going to do something?
Can you imagine?
So yeah, it hurts, but I wouldn't have got this far 3 years on and changed things. I think my proudest moments are the national consent forms for radiotherapy in the UK. So now forever, people of colour will be consented in the UK and abroad, because everyone else is copying it, that for people of colour will always be consented for radiotherapy or chemotherapy with the correct information for our skin tone. Wow. That's all I really want to do.
You are really breaking ground, and I'm so glad that you spoke about that, because I wasn't going to ask you about that. And I'm really glad that you are, because people need to hear it. So you are changing the way that, you know, people of colour are treated. You are changing the laws, okay? And people are not happy with that. And these are people within your profession. And, okay, we can't really go into it, but I'm coming from the human experience. How does that make you feel? Because I've seen it happen when I've, you know, been doing stuff for Black Women Rising. You know, you can be great, but not greater than that, you know, and you can do a little bit, but you better not do that. You know, you better not go over that. And then as a result, you create enemies without knowing. And these are people that actually have the power to actually work with you to create huge change. And it's a bit like, are you not wanting to see the changes here? Because they're coming in. Like, I know how that's felt for me. How does that feel for you?
So I came here when I was 6 years old, spoke 3-4 words of English, which was just about hello and thank you, that's about it. So I've had to work really hard to speak this way, not sound Indian, all of that. And I think now when I look back on it, it is that having got to this point, I've ignored my own heritage and culture to fit in with all these white circles. But actually, even though I'm in them and I'm helping change and actually making them look better, they still aren't happy with that. So I'm not going to win, so fine, I'll just do it by myself.
Yeah.
People have said, don't do any more skincare stuff, don't create a new skin assessment tool. Why not? We need a new skin assessment tool, the other ones don't work. If you're not going to do it, I'm just going to have to, which is a lot of responsibility, and I think I am burning out a bit with it. So I'm fed up of doing these talks, being invited, and I think, again, I'll go back to the colonial thing that, all right, you're brown, you're doing well, come talk to us about it. We'll listen, we won't do anything about it. We'll give you a high five, and then that's it, done.
Oh my God, yeah.
But actually, you can't, I don't want to talk about it, but you can't argue with 7 awards for the work.
No, you got to keep talking about it.
So-
You better keep talking about it and use those awards. Should have brought them here. We could have put them up on the... Yeah.
I think they've probably got muslins at home on them at the moment. I think it's the safe spaces. So a lot of people have said, and I
It is
think
the safe spaces.
Sarah kind of mentioned about, they want evidence. I don't know about everyone in the room, but my family have been brown and around for a long time. Evidence has been there for a very long time. I don't know why we need high level of evidence to say
So true.
skin changes are different for people of colour. Of course they're different. Same as the products we use.
Yeah.
Lots of products that people might suggest, actually, they dry my skin out. And I know you've got the lovely Palmers. I love that.
Yeah.
Because actually it works for my skin.
Yeah.
And every time I talk about it, it's, oh, no, but there's not enough evidence. But there is in my people.
Yeah.
Like, it works for us. We use coconut oil all the time in India. That's how it is. Just because you don't understand it, and maybe you don't like coconut because it's too exotic, that's not my problem.
Yeah. It's so true. And it's funny because I can talk to you forever because I feel like, especially when you're advocating in spaces, we spoke about this, there's this aspect of actually talking and talking and talking, but in a way that people are not listening, and it's like, do you keep talking and keep saying the same thing over and over again to people who are so hell-bent on taking it through one ear and out the other? How do you keep going? And I'm generally asking you that because I actually stopped talking quite a lot this year because I was just like, I'm so done. I can't keep talking to the same people about the same problems and it's going through one ear and out the other. They're not listening. Or do they actually really want to make change? And like you said, they do. They turn around and go, okay, you're black, you're in a space, you're doing well, let's have you on the panel because it looks good, rather than making the changes that you see. And I did keep thinking I was being invited to things as a token, but not being listened to. I also do believe this year that some of the talks I did do reverted back to the old days, which I was talking about of, pre-pandemic, where I was in rooms and eyes were being rolled back at me. I felt that a few times this year again. And I do think there's kind of, we're reverting back to even worse before the pandemic, with people's opinions about us doing advocacy work in our communities. How do you keep going? Like, what is it that keeps you going in all of these spaces when you've got so much people against you, or, people not being very nice, to you and your work and all the things that you're doing?
Big question. I think one of the things I've been a bit of a mantra, you can't challenge what you can't see, you can't dismantle what you don't understand. I can see the problems, I do understand it. And it's the accountability of putting it on other people. I think maybe to check my own privilege, I am a man. If I'm a man, you're a woman, they're probably going to listen to me more. Unfortunately, it's the truth, but using that privilege to say, well, actually, I don't know the best about women's health or things like that. Actually, there is a community like Black Women Rising, you need to work with them.
Yeah.
But even then, when I have referred people, they haven't really worked with you because they're too scared to do the work.
Absolutely.
So fine, you can call problems out, but it will make people feel uncomfortable. Take it away in your own space and do something about it. But I think for next year, I really want people to check, like I just did, your privilege, that if you're white, everything is built for you. If you suddenly now work, I think Professor Bowler always says this, if you can set up a new service, a new improvement project that is based on one protected characteristic, such as black women, it's going to fall in place for white people straight away because it's already there.
It will.
So actually, you're probably doing something more efficient, and you'll probably save money because we know our worth. We're happy to do things, and I've done so much for free. And actually, it'd be great to be a millionaire by now, but that's not the point of being in healthcare. I think NHS is built on goodwill, but I think at the moment, people like me were getting a bit fed up of the goodwill just being rinsed all the time.
Yeah.
And actually going into the new year, new
100%.
government, new everything, we can't keep doing the same thing over and over again.
We can't keep doing the same
thing. Think how many babies have been missed for newborn screening. Think how many people have been sent home with sepsis because they can't see it. Think how many people have lost limbs and toes because you can't see that they don't have redness in their diabetic feet. That is a big issue, and actually I don't think people are talking about it enough. No. COVID, you mentioned, the pulsometers, they didn't work for people of colour very well. They still don't. No one's done anything about it. We talked about it. Everyone posted a black square on Instagram for George Floyd and whatever.
I took that down the other day. I saw it. I was like, why did I put this up? No, it's that meant nothing to so many people.
Sorry to call you out.
Yes.
But that doesn't do anything. Actually, we can keep talking, but it's about actions now.
It is about actions, yeah.
I don't know, we just need it. As you said, if you want to be a nice person, do something about it.
And I think that's why allyship has always been really important to our charity and our work. And I think, you know, you're a great example of an ally, just doing things and really speaking our names in rooms and talking to people about, you know, our work and championing us. And actually the fact that you are an Asian man has helped, because actually, you're right, people listen to you in different spaces than they would listen to us. So you have, as much as it's like funny, like we have, like even if I ask the team, I know Liv is in here and stuff, there's been so many people that have come forward and you said your name, that you're the one that's told them about our work and stuff like that. And we're just so grateful for you. And actually, as I go around the community, I think Leanne was doing it the other day, we just sing your praises because you do the most incredible work. Like, what's next for you? Tell us what's next for you. What's next on your agenda to tick off?
I'm hoping the newborn will sleep longer than a few hours. I think I can slow down. I don't have to keep doing everything. But at the same time, being the first to do something, there is that responsibility that you need to bring other people up. Yeah. So now I'm trying to mentor more people of colour to do things, have the confidence in themselves.
You are doing that,
But I think also through RadChat that we are setting up a first ever free access CPD image library. Oh. So obviously when you go on Google and you type in skin reaction, shows you white people. That doesn't help. All of our patients, that's what they see first. And then they think, well, there's nothing wrong with my skin. Yeah. So we are in I think maybe in a month or so it should be live. Hopefully, as we've already talked about it, and I'm going to hold you now that I've got it recorded, but partnering with you about it is just the free images that we just want to flood the internet with images of scars, reactions, so people know what it looks like. Yeah. It's very simple for me. I know that it's going to be different, but I think that's my main aim for the moment. And also, I'm now in the process next year of designing a new skin assessment tool that actually works for people of colour. Yes. And then validate it, and obviously working with Black Women Rising as part of that as well. And again, paying you for it. You can't do research if you're not getting paid for it. Yeah. I think that's one thing I really want people to know. And I want you to be paid
for all your work that you're doing as well.
One day I'll get that Ferrari, but not now. One day.
But it goes to show as well, it's like you don't do it for that. Like what you're doing is incredible, and we are so grateful for you. Can we give you one more last round of applause?